Hello, this is to show you how to do problems with exponents. There are certain rules that you need to follow with exponents. This would be the review sheet that we would write out, that you would put in your loose leaf. The first thing to know about exponents is that x to the a power simply means that it's x multiplied a times. So x cubed is x times x times x. So that's important. The second thing is, what does x to the negative a power mean? X to the negative a power means that it's 1 divided by x to the a power, which means that you just, whatever is in here, you put this in the in the denominator. In other words, you just take the reciprocal of x to the a, which is 1 over x to the a. So you see a negative number, you just write what you have here as a, you just reverse it. You just reverse where it is. If this is in the numerator, you put it in the denominator. And you're going to see what happens with that. Okay, x to the a times x to the b is x to the a plus b. So x squared times x cubed is x to the fifth. And the way you get that is you write down x squared, then you write down x cubed, and this is x times x times x times x times x, which is x to the fifth. Okay, now x to the a divided by x to the b is x to the a minus b. So here's an example. X squared divided by x cubed is x2 minus 3, which is x to the negative 1, which we'll talk about in a moment. Now with doing it using the, just breaking it down, x squared is x times x, and x cubed is x times x times x. You can cross off a bunch of x's here. Cross off those x's, cross off those x's, and you're left with just 1 over x. And 1 over x is x to the minus 1, which is also 1 over x, right? X to the minus 1 means that you just simply say 1 over x, because a is 1, right? So this is 1 over x to the 1, which is 1 over x. Okay, so 1 over x is the same as x to the minus 1. Okay, x to the a to the n power is actually x to the a times n power. So let's look at an example. X squared to the fourth power. So you have two exponents here. X squared to the fourth power is x to the eighth. Okay, so let's look at this. X squared to the fourth power is, you have x squared, which is x times x, and you have to do that 4 times. X times x, x times x, x times x. Now you have x how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. X to the eighth power. Okay, so x squared to the fourth power is x to the eighth power. X to the a to the nth power is x to the a times n. Now, you can sort of expand that here. If you have x to the a times y to the b to the n power, you have x to the a times n times y to the b times n. Okay, you just so a to the n, a times n, and then b times n. So let's do an example. X squared times y cubed, and then you do all of that to the cube power, 3 power, you get x to the 6th, which is x squared to the times 3, and x to the, and y to the 9th, which is y cubed, y to the cubed times 3, which is y to the 9th. So let's do those examples that you said. Okay, you have a to the 4th, b to the 5th, c to the 6th, to the 2nd power. So you use this formula here, and you apply it. So you got a to the 4th to the 2nd power is a to the 8th. B to the 5th to the 2nd power is b to the 10th. C to the 6th to the 2nd power is c to the 12th. Because you multiply 4 times 2, 5 times 2, and 6 times 2. If you don't believe me, you can just do brute force. A to the 4th is a 4 times. B to the 5th is b 5 times. C to the 6th is c 6 times. Times the whole thing again, right? Because it's squared. So you write it down. Now, let's count how many a's you have. A times 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 a, which is a to the 8th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. B to the 5th, b 5 b's times 5 b's is 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 b to the 10th. C, you have 6 c's here, you have 6 c's here, so of course you have 12 c's. That's how you get it. Notice you get the same answer. Now let's do the problem which looks really intimidating. Y to the 4th, No, x to the fourth, y to the minus 4th, divided by 3 to the x to the minus 2 times y to the negative third power. Okay, first thing you do, you get rid of these negative exponents here. If you do work inside the parentheses, you get rid of these negative exponents. What do? Well, x to the fourth is just x to the fourth. Now this y to the negative fourth, you see that thing, y to the negative fourth? That simply goes downstairs because the y to the fourth is in the numerator and y to the fourth is up here, but you have a negative sign, so you have to, you just flip where it is in the fraction. So you move the y to the fourth downstairs. 3 is fine. X to the minus 2, but it's in the numerator, so what do? You flip it. See, x to the minus 2 becomes x squared. Every time you see a negative exponent, you flip it. Say that 2 more times. Every time you have a negative exponent, you flip it. Every time you have a negative exponent, you flip it. Okay? And then you just have a y there, right? So now, you line all it up. This is x to the fourth, y squared divided by 3, y, this is a y to the first, y to the fourth. Okay, now we apply this rule here. Okay, x to the a times x to the b is x to the a plus b. So you have x to the fourth times x squared, which is x to the sixth, right? 4 times 2. And now you have 3 times y to the first, y times y to the fourth, so that's 3y to the fifth. Okay, so you have this. Now look, you have a negative exponent. Oh goodness, what do you do with that? Well, you take this whole fraction and you flip it. See? You just totally flip it. You see what we did? We flipped it because of the negative number. We get rid of the negative number. We've gotten rid of the negative exponent. Now you have this. Okay, now you apply this rule, I guess. This rule and this rule, they're really the same rule. So now you have 3 cubed y times 3 times 5, y to the 15th. Keep downstairs, x to the 6th to the third is x to the 18th. Now you have to do 3 cubed. This you actually have to do on a calculator or do it by hand. 3 times 3, which is 9, times 3 is just 27. That's the answer. Let's do it if you want to see it, maybe a little more brute force. We just go over this quickly. It's the same problem. You get rid of the negative exponents. You take the y to the fourth, move it downstairs. You take the x negative 2, you move it upstairs. Now here it's x to the fourth x squared. So you write it out. X times x times x times x times x times x. So that's x to the sixth, right? Because you got 6 x's here. You keep the 3. Now you have y. You have 1 y, and then you have 4 y's. 4 times y. Oh, did I put too many in? I put too many in. Look at that. Ignore that y. Made a mistake. It's so easy to make mistakes. Really easy. I put in an extra y in, and I don't have an eraser here, so just ignore that. So you have y times y times, this should be y to the fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's y to the fifth. I put an extra y in there. I'm so sorry. Okay. So now we have here y to the fifth downstairs. We have x to the sixth divided by y to the fifth. And then with the same problems here. You have this negative thing. That means you flip everything. You flip everything. Numerators go to denominators. Now denominators goes to numerators. Keep the exponent, and then you do the same thing. 3 times 3 times 3, and then 3 to y to the fifth times to the third power is y to the 15th, and x to the sixth to the third power is x to the 18th. Same answer. Okay, I hope this helps. Practice, 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 and always reach out to me if you have a problem. Okay, talk to you later. Bye-bye.